Hey guys, welcome to my channel Miss Recap. Today I'm going to explain the Netflix series The Sandman, episode 1. In the Netflix show The Sandman, it follows around Morpheus, who is better known as the Sandman. He controls all of your dreams but also all of your nightmares. He controls both to make sure they don't envelop us. And when we dream or we have a nightmare, we go to his realm while we sit down here on earth. He's controlling his own realm. He's got siblings like Destiny and Desires, but they control their own realms as well. He is helped by a librarian named Lucia. She is kind of his second in command, and he has a raven named Jasmine. He also utilized 3 tools, a bag full of sand, a ruby, and this helmet, looking like that they literally call a helm. He uses all 3 of these anytime he has to go to our world. Doesn't happen often, but every once in a while he has to travel there and deal with something in this particular circumstance. He is dealing with a rogue nightmare named Corinthian. It's 1916 England. It's not exactly easy to track somebody down, but for the Sandman, it's no problem. He's able to locate Corinthian pretty quickly, and the problem with Corinthian is he is on a killing spree. He's not just killing these people, though he's cutting their eyeballs out, vowing to make the world look just like him, because he is without eyeballs. As I said, he is a rogue nightmare. He was supposed to stay as such, but he decided to stay in the real world and kill human beings. That's not gonna fly with the Sandman. But right as he is about to destroy Corinthian, he gets pulled away by something else. Because not too far away, there is a guy named Roderick Burgess who is a wannabe sorcerer. He is pretty rich and he has a son named Alex, and his other son passed away in the war. And unfortunately for Alex, Burgess makes it known that his older son was a pride and joy. He's got a huge house with a lot of followers that call themselves the Order of the Ancient Mysterious. One day he gets a visit from a guy named Dr. Hathaway, who has an old spell book, and Hathaway has shown up because his own son has passed away. He was hoping that Burgess can use this spell book and bring his son back. In order to do that, Burgess is gonna have to capture the Angel of Death. But instead of capturing Death, which is one of Dream's siblings, he captures Dream. When Dream shows up, he is knocked out in a binding circle, and Alex starts talking his 3 tools. Burgess himself rips off the cap, and that's when Jasmine starts attacking him. Everybody is pretty confused. They don't really know what to do because they thought they were getting the Angel of Death, and his clearly isn't it. But for the time being, he can't move if he is in that binding circle. So they are just kind of content with keeping him until they figure out what to do with them. The thing is, once he does recover, there is nothing that Dream can do because he is in the binding circle. And what pisses him off the most is he got trapped by a guy that doesn't know even what he did. By taking away dreams and his curriculum from his realm, it's negatively affecting the real world because he can't police the dreams or the nightmare. It's resulting in thousands and thousands of people dying. They called it the sleepy sickness and is affected everywhere. People just didn't wake up. But Burgess is still reeling from the fact that he does not know what he has, and that's when he gets a visit from Corinthian. He explains that what he has in the basement is a member of the family from Desire, Destiny, Despair, the Grim Reaper. They are all connected, and the one in his basement is Dream. By taking the 3 tools, it will land him a silver of Dream's power. He can extend his lifespan and he can manipulate others with them. But Corinthian tells him you have to make sure that he never escapes. The binding circle is not going to be enough. You have to construct a sphere of glass inside the circle that will contain his physical manifestation. No one must be allowed to fall asleep in his prisons, or he will escape in their dreams, which will help him escape in the real world. He tells Burgess all this because he wants to survive, and he knows that if Dream ever gets out, he won't. So right after Corinthian visits him, Burgess heads downstairs in the basement and tells Dream that he knows who he is, but he didn't intend to trap him. He wanted the Angel Death because he wants his son back. If Dream can do that, then he will let him go. But Dream does not say anything. So Burgess asks, well, what can you offer me if I let you go? You have got to give me something in return. But once again, Dream just always silent. 10 years later, he was still stuck in that basement. It was good for Burgess. The 3 tools that brought him prosperity, youth. I mean, thanks for the order couldn't be better for the rest of the world. Though the sleepy sickness continues to wreak havoc, it's around this time where Burgess is introduced to Ethel Cripps, Cripps and Burgess start a relationship and she seems to be into him for his power. Because it can't be for looks. I mean, there is only so much those tools can do. He still looks like a pop-up. Alex is still living in the house and he is still an outsider, never accepted by his father, continuously trying to get in his good graces. And one of the ways he is going to try to do that is by shooting Jessamy. For 10 years. His dad has been trying to get rid of that damn bird, but he can't. It just stays near the house following him around. And that's because for 10 years, Jessamy has trying to figure out how to free Dream, but as Jessamy comes up with a new plan and the bird is pecking at the glass trying to free Dream, she gets shot by Alex, and even though he did what his father wanted, it's still not good enough because Burgess yells at him for shooting at the glass. Because it could have shattered Alex, just can't win. He is not the only one who is going through a tough time though. Ethel ends up getting pregnant and Roderick does not want her to keep it. So in the middle of the night she leaves the house, but she doesn't leave empty-handed. She takes all of Dream's tools. She also takes the spell book in 200k because Ethel Cripps and no fool. Roderick wants all of it because he needs help. He sends him men after her. But he knows that might be a fool's errand. So he goes in the basement and asks for Dream's help. He figures that maybe because she stole Dreams as tools, he will want to find her Dream, however remains silent. And that infuriates Roderick, who starts banging on the glass. And Alex tries to come and calm him down. But it results in Roderick screaming at Alex. The two gets into a fight. And Roderick ends up bumping his head, bleeding out and dying. With his father dead, he could free Dream. But he doesn't continue to live in the house and managing things. 9 months after, the Ethel Cripps gave birth to a son named John. Years go by and before you know it, it's a century Alex continues to live there with his boyfriend Paul and Dream continued to live in the basement. Alex wanted to let him out but Dream never assured him that he wouldn't harm him if he did. So because of that, Alex had to keep him in there. On one such day, when Alex is talking a Dream, telling him how much he did want to let him out, Paul tells Alex that's enough and he starts escorting him upstairs via Alex's wheelchair. But when he does it, he ends up breaking the binding circle just by a little bit. But that's all the Dream needed. It seems like Paul realized what he was doing because he looks down at the ground and then looks back at the Dream. But he continues to go forward without saying anything. With the binding circle broken, Dream is able to manipulate one of the guards into shooting the glass and freeing them. Alex ends up finding out the Dream escaped in his dreams, which quickly becomes a nightmare. A Dream's payback is to give Alex eternal sleep. He then finally returns his ram and there is Lucien waiting for him. But the ram is not how he left it. With him gone, it doesn't look like a ram of dreams at all. It looks way more like a nightmare and Dreams has a lot of work to do. The episode ends here. Thanks for watching. If you like it, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel.